This is the Healing Kings podcast, and I'm your host, Drew Koss. And today is a quick one. We're going to talk about where you are at matters. Now, I'm going to show you something in this episode that has greatly helped me out. It's just a story, and it's going around the internet a lot, but it's a powerful story where a young man, he's a famous violinist, and he's a violinist that makes a lot of money. Makes a lot of money. His tickets are a lot of money. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that some of his tickets were ranging in the uh, a thousand area, the $1,000 mark. And he has a concert, and the night before, um, well, let's go back. He has a concert, and he plays at the concert, one of the biggest concerts. He does amazing as usual, and people pay for it. It's an amazing show. Now, the next day or week, he goes and plays at a Subway, not Subway, the restaurant, Subway as transportation. He goes and he plays in New York. And as he goes to play in New York, he's playing in the Subway, and people don't even recognize him. He makes thousands the night before. He goes and plays at the Subway in New York, and I think he gets at least $50 from like tips and things like that. Now, if you're in New York, people are probably yelling at him, probably thinking he's a bum, not realizing that violin probably cost probably cost like their mortgage or more. It had to at this time. He's playing and he gets about $50 for the night. Well, okay, what does that have to do with anything, Drew? So with this, we realize sometimes it's not about how good you are, it's about where you are. Certain audiences may not be ready for who you are and the gifts you have and the talents you have and the solutions you have. And certain areas might be ready. Give you an example. If he's making thousands of dollars in this hall, and then $50 in the Subway, is he less valuable as a person? Not at all. Is he more valuable in the eyes of certain people based on where he's at? Absolutely. We see this all the time, right? If you go to any like sporting event or any play, you can get water at Costco for 25 cents. You can get water at like your local store, maybe like $1.25 or something. You can get it at the gas station for like maybe like $2. But you go to those sporting events, water's like $4, $5. And that's for the little one. That's for the little one. It's like $4 or $5. He does that. I mean, you realize that and you start to think about, is it so much me, or is it more so what I possess, or is it who I'm bringing this gift to? This is something that I had to learn a lot in business and still learn to this day. You can charge $100 for something in an area where people don't value what you're offering. And what you can do, what happens if you're not careful is you end up diminishing what you actually bring to the table. There's times where, as a fitness coach and as a life coach, I'll give you an example where I was selling a program at that time. It was about $97 for the month. They had 4 sessions with me as a group. 4, $97. Basically $25 a session if you broke it down by hourly. They didn't value that at that time. It's not that they couldn't afford it. More so, people will find a way to afford whatever they want. They just didn't value that. And then I get somebody who gives me a call. They're like, "Hey, I see what you do. How can you help me? How can we do this?" And then they book me and pay $400 within minutes. You have to ask yourself a question like this: where does my gifts belong? Where do they flourish? It's to be an old saying, go where your appreciated or celebrated, not where you're tolerated. That's great. That's a great way to put it. And it's great for business as well. Go where your gift is appreciated and valued and honored. This is not to say that you won't help people for free or you won't help people for uh, low amounts of money. It's not to say that you may do that. What we're trying to do is look at this story of how could he be getting paid thousands in one day and the next day get 50? It was where he was at. Where he was at, the people in the subway are not valuing music. They hear some of the best musicians probably daily, right? And they hear probably somebody playing on drums of some sort, somebody playing a harmonica, a flute. They hear that so often. They hear people singing. They've heard it so often that they've become immune to the surroundings. And you don't want your gift, this is helping me too. You don't want your gift just to keep being in a place where people become immune to you. You want your gifts to eventually be in places where people understand this is value that this person is given. This is something that I actually need from this person. You want that. You want that. So how do I get there, Drew? My first thing would be is what solution do I have that somebody important actually needs? The second thing I would do is ask myself, where do I also flourish when I give these solutions? As a teacher, one of the greatest things as a teacher, you could teach 1 to 5 people. Yes, that is great. But sometimes if you get in front of more people, it does something for you. But as a teacher, if you get in front of people who want to learn, not who's saying they want to learn, but people who are showing up wanting to learn, man, you can teach for hours. I tell you this today, you could teach for hours because it ignites something in you. It pushes you to pull out something in you. Third, I would say find out from other people in your industry, where are they at? This may mean relocating. This may mean being in a different environment. I've had people pay me one-on-ones, no problem, because they had the problem, they needed the solution, and they know they needed it simple. And then I've had people who tried to ask a million questions and didn't even purchase the program. So in this story with the man and the violin, don't make yourself feel less valuable because of the people you might be around. Find out, who are my people? Who do I need to be around? Where do I need to be? That might be an uncomfortable question because a lot of times we're just trying to serve our families and our boys. Let the church say amen. Instead of going to a place where our service is wanted. And when I say wanted, I don't mean you're just figuring out just to go do some quick community service. Do community service, ask community service. But when it comes to business, where is this gift going to blossom? Where is this gift going to blossom? In this story, I want to encourage you guys today. And I want to encourage you guys to realize that you're valuable and the gifts you possess, they're valuable. Work on honing those gifts. Work on your craft. Work on making it better. And if you want to be different, we always try to do something crazy to be different. Alex Hormozy taught me this. If you want to be different, whatever you promise somebody, see if you can just cut the time down until it's delivered. If I'm a photographer and everyone's doing 2 weeks, see if I can do a week to get them the pictures back. If I'm a coach and I told them I'm going to have a plan for them in 7 days, see if I can get it in 3 days. That helps alone. But more so, be a person of your word. Be there. Show up. Be there. Go go do extra for the person. And you won't have to worry about, are you different? You'll be different. So remember, in this story, sometimes it's not what you have. It's where it's at. It's where you are at. Now, guys, help us go reach more people by subscribing. I love that you guys watch this and you guys listen. Now, we want to help more people, more men, and more people be encouraged, enlightened, and just inspired. So go hit that subscribe button today. And as always, guys, go be great.